Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me the floor. Thank you to UNESCO Chair WENDI for the invitation. That's my great pleasure to be here already for the second time in Kyoto. And I probably take a little bit different approach than my colleagues. I'm not going to speak about my field of expertise. However, after having heard all of these lectures, very interesting, I still think that it's something missing. It's about water from the different perspective than only natural sciences. I'm a lawyer by training, to scare you. And I'm dealing mainly with water law, but today I would like to introduce to you more about Central Asia, which is the region where I'm based for the last 7 years. It's also kind of confusing. I'm Polish by training, as Professor Zalewski. I'm German by education and by work, and I'm living in Kazakhstan. So this is about, and talking to you in Kyoto. So I think this is about the globalization and about looking for the connectivity between the different partners, different disciplines, and I think this is why WENDI is there and why we are here. Here I would like to very briefly introduce the region to you. You might not know so exactly where Central Asia is, but probably everyone have heard sometimes previously about the Aral Sea. I think that that this map should have been moving, but the PDF does not allow this. So just to tell you that we have 5 previous Soviet Union countries surrounding, within the basin of the Aral Sea, the Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan, and also Afghanistan, which is the upstream country for this basin, and sometimes within the Central Asia we speak also about the Xinjiang province of China, or also about Mongolia. So Central Asia is quite wide, so whether you want to define it, with the main 2 rivers, Sirdarya and Amudarya. That's a very interesting region with a very divergent history, the roots of the Silk Road through the half of the world at these ages. Then the previous history of the Soviet Union with the biggest mismanagement of water as we can see and judge it these days. And also now with the process of nation and state buildings of the countries which we have named before, sometimes with a very difficult political or economical situations, at least very divergent, and trying their best to cooperate also in the transboundary water management, because most of the rivers are of the transboundary character. And the water is getting scarce, so the cooperation is really required. The scarcity is also triggered by some additional aspects which are very much related to climate change. So climate change in our region has a very different phases. One of them is melting of the glaciers, which are reservoirs for fresh water in our region. And water pollution is a very big problem, because the developing economy is agriculture, industry, and they are the source of the pollution. We have also a great biodiversity, as you can see on this picture, but also this is getting more fragmented, and some of the very valuable species are getting more and more endangered. And at the same time, we also have the problem with desertification, and which is causing a very different, which is having very different effects, like dust storms, very different diseases, droughts, and salinity of the soil, and others. So the question is, how can we solve it together? And we are here to discuss all of those issues. Our small contribution to this approach is in the German-Kazakh University, a so-called Berlin process established by the German government with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now that's the current president of Germany, but previously Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Steinmeier, who has set up a Central Asia water initiative within the EU strategy for Central Asia. And within this process, 3 projects have been, or 3 approaches approaches have been established. One is the GIZ International Cooperation for supporting the institutional cooperation of the states, so-called SAVA project, which I speak a little bit later more about. This is about the water-related research, and the educational project master program in integrated water resource management, which I'm the head of. And since 2016, there's a new opening of this all activities, because we became the UNESCO chair in water management for Central Asia. I think the most valuable thing about us is that we are interdisciplinary, very small, but also very regional, having not only students, but also teachers, and a number of collaboration within the whole Central Asia. And my experience there tells me that this is the way, this is the right way of setting up the water management to be based on cooperation. So that's my basically hidden goal to have come here. It's a Kyoto University research field sites, which Kyoto University is having all around the world. And I remember my personal impression from the first meeting last year with Professor Takara, who was showing me the map with the impressive 57 sites worldwide, and I took the liberty and I wrote 58th, which was on the Central Asian part. So I really hope that that maybe we can discuss some fields of the interest to colleague from the Kyoto University to be shared with Central Asia. And I think that there are a number of them. Certainly we have already you have already mentioned in your presentations the UNESCO research, UNESCO heritages like bioreserve parks or geoparks. There is the issues related to climate change, disaster risk reduction, desertification, water governance, and engagement into science and education in those fields. So let me speak a little bit more about those few of those elements which could be of interest. Here on those pretty beautiful pictures, I think you can see the former RLC. So this is the biosphere reserve park, which is called Barsekilimesh. It's also quite an interesting story, because it used to be an island on the RLC, more or less 30 square kilometers. Now is much bigger, because it's reaching the land, because the RLC basically in this part is not anymore there. But still it has preserved lots of its natural desert ecosystem, and probably the whole RLC area is like a laboratory where you can see the emergence of the natural deserts ecosystems, but it still has a number of very unique species of flora and fauna, which should and could be still researched. UNESCO has recognized it in 2016 as this area has received the status of biosphere reserve park. But now there is like a goal and a wish to develop furthermore even towards the geopark idea. There is a special intergovernmental organization among the Central Asian countries which is dealing with the development of and maybe improvement of the situation in the RLC basin, which is called International Fund for Saving RLC, and especially with the Kazakhstan support, they have managed to develop the plans for setting up a special scientific touristic center at the very beautiful lake called Kambash Lake, which could be a potential place for the future scientific development and cooperation. Here are again some ideas for the related to the question of the geopark. There are a number of fossil flora and fauna remainings from the Paleogene age. And maybe it would be a special attraction also in terms of the setting up a geopark to strengthen the governmental and international community support to the rescuing of this unique place. Here just a few information about the research which is going on in Central Asia with the support of the German side. This is so-called Central Asia Waters Network, which with its regional representative is based from recent time at our university. It has three main components. This research network, which has been established already 10 years ago by the consortium of German universities, which is dealing with the monitoring of water resources, the seasonal runoff monitoring and forecast, and monitoring of water efficiency. Here are just a few pictures from the activities done by the German and Central Asian scientists in the region in terms of monitoring of the snow cover in the Central Asian glaciers with every year summer school activities. Also related to the measurement of the runoff, the network has established a number of independent monitoring stations throughout the region and is gathering an independent data openly accessible and possible for further use for research. And also land use monitoring with the water efficiency in agriculture with its special within a special program and the website where also the data is available for most of the places in Central Asia. So all of those three directions of the so-called SAVA project, we hope and we welcome the engagement of colleagues from the WENDI chair. Here just a very new direction somehow, I mean new to probably also us but very important to the academic and society and to the practitioners, the disaster risk reduction in Central Asia. We have obviously big problems with the mud flows, with landslides, with the danger of the outburst of the mountainous lakes. A number of projects have been already developed. We also know that some of the Japanese colleagues have been involved previously. There is nowadays also a regional organization, intergovernmental organization established by Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and other countries are slowly reaching, reaching towards the membership, which is going to offer political support for development of cooperation in this field. As mentioned, the big problems with the desalination and desertification in our region, which is to a big extent driven by natural, as arid climate factors, but also human factors, which are mainly the wasteful land and water management, inefficient irrigation, and old equipment, and too little knowledge. This is probably in all of those aspects the most critical one. And I'm so happy to welcome the information that Professor Tanaka and his team are working on this, especially in Uzbekistan. I also know that here is one of the Timur, one of the young colleagues originating from Uzbekistan. So I really feel that there is a number of activities which we could build upon. Here are just a few, probably more like photographs and ideas from the project. And also one of the new for Central Asia, however, kind of an obvious direction towards the future energy, renewable energies. Even maybe you know that last year Kazakhstan has hosted an expo exhibition devoted to future energies, and water obviously is one of them, but also wind and solar power, biomass. This is everything what is present in the big numbers in Central Asia, but it's not really very much developed, and the students, like in our university, we have one of the very unique programs devoted to renewable energy studies, which we help to expand. That's why again I was happy to learn about the summer schools and the courses respecting and fitted to the local needs by Dr. Ogaki Hideaki and Professor Keiti Ishihara. here the science and sense of a governance, I mean some structures, how we been trying to develop the cooperation with the partners. The network of academic institutions within Central Asia the idea of this network has been started in 2014 with the support of the World Bank. Then it became a little bit more academic. Some universities are involved into the discussion of how to strengthen the cooperation in terms of education and scientific research, maybe of coming to common projects. Like our master is a project, it's a master which is a regional, because we have students from all countries of Central Asia, but wouldn't it be great if we could have, like in Slovenia, the joint project, right, master project with different universities in the different countries. So we have tried to do within this project some activities to prepare for the World Water Forum in Brasilia. We have been hosting the pre-consultations for civil society, including academia, and we have been active at the opening of so-called UN Water Decade, which will last for 10 years, and which has one of the components of the science and water nexus. And since Tajikistan is one of the countries who has promoted this idea on the UN's level, we hope that it will also give us the political roof for that kind of activities. Here's an idea how it should look like, the network of the universities, which would be devoted to mainly education, capacity building, scientific research, in the sense of coordinating our activities and strengthening the potential. This is only incoming, and we hope also very much for learning from UNESCO experience how to develop this for the benefit of the region. Last but not least, the young generation, a very young bachelor, master level, we have started also with the help of the so-called World Water Youth Parliament, a regional branch in Central Asia, what we call Youth Forum on water, with some directions. One main of them is to support young students in research, in their research capacities, bringing them also to the high-level scientific events. We are offering them the professional training in research skills, but also in the project management and in writing project proposals to receive some grants for their project, and also receiving some small grants for their practical projects, how they can apply their scientific results. And as you see, this is the project which has been implemented in Herat in Afghanistan, because some of our students and members of the network are coming from Afghanistan. And this is the really very last slide where I would like to indicate and invite you to participate in to participate and support maybe the recent e-journal which we have established with support of few donor organizations. It's a peer-reviewed journal which is online in Russian and in English. And we very much want with this platform to spread the knowledge which is internationally recognized on the high level and spread them among the Central Asians. And at the other side also to share with you, like with the international community, the knowledge which is present in our region, because there is a lot of this. So this is like an IWRM approach journal to support the knowledge in the region. And that's it. Those are our partners. We wait for many more in the future, and I hope for the cooperation in the education sphere, to participate in the common events, to exchange the students, to participate in the short-term courses that has been advertised, and in the scientific activities of WENDI chair, and finally to the field site of Kyoto in Central Asia. Thank you very much for your attention.